Hey everybody, Scott with Tango Down Production. I had a video on my channel. It's still there. It's my everyday carry loadout video. Some of you have seen it. I had an interesting question from a viewer who sent me a message and said, hey, this is kind of an old video. Has your EDC loadout changed? As a matter of fact, it has, slightly. So I'm going to go ahead and cover that tonight. So this will be my EDC update video. I live in Denver, Colorado. It's a pretty big metropolitan city. There's some very bad parts of it. So we have a very lenient concealed carry law here. So for those of you who don't live in states such as Illinois or California that have luxuries of that, you're going to need to modify the carry a little bit to be legal. But not getting on a sidetrack here, let's cover what we got here. Glock 40 caliber, model 23, primary handgun that I carried today. Cellular telephone. And on this side I got a spare magazine for the Glock, tactical knife, and I have a flashlight. Now, the firearm, okay, that's pretty obvious, alright. Cell phone, this is your best tool right here, okay guys. I have a Bluetooth in my ear. Now normally I don't wear that when I have my videos, doing my videos, but this illustrates the point that I'm a big fan of having hands-free, okay. If I've had to draw my firearm and I've had to engage a threat and now all of a sudden it's safe for me to do so, I can press and hold my Bluetooth and just say dial 911 and it goes straight to 911. I don't have to worry about not having to keep my phone up in my ear or anything like that. That being said, real quick, when you guys call 911, God forbid you ever mixed up in a shooting or a situation where you had to use some sort of force to prevent an attack on yourself, do not say, hey, I just shot some asshole who tried to hit me with a bat. You just confessed to a homicide on a recorded line. Okay? This is what I teach my students. It's very simple. There's been a shooting. The shooting has stopped. This is where I am. I need police and ambulance services here right away, and hang up the phone. Don't stay on the line. The dispatcher is going to call you back. Okay? I don't recommend staying on that line. And the biggest reason why is, for one, you don't need a dispatcher in your ear distracting you if, God forbid, a secondary threat pops up. Alright? So that's a distraction, in my opinion, you don't need. Secondly, spontaneous utterances will be used against you in a court of law. So if, say, you shot the guy and he's writhing around on the ground, and you make some comment like, hey, if you get back up, asshole, I'm going to kill you. Now you just told on a recorded line that you're going to kill someone. Again, bad. So hang up the phone, be done. The cavalry will get there. You'll hear the sirens coming. Even if you don't, if you see them before you hear them, okay? Holster up, alright? Put the gun away. You don't want to be drawing down on a bad guy. Cops are going to show up. They see you in plain clothes. They don't know if you're the good guy or the bad guy. They see a guy standing there with a gun pointed at somebody. So, to prevent law enforcement from showing up and shooting first and ask questions later, holster up, hands in plain view. Alright? When they get there, you're going to say, look, I'm a little worked up right now. I am fully willing to cooperate with you just as soon as I speak to an attorney. Period. That's all you say. You lawyer up right away. Is that going to, well, geez, that's going to cast a lot of suspicion on you. But you know what? It will save your ass. Lawyer up. So, not getting on a sidetrack here, let's move on. Spare magazine, alright? Like I said in my first video, this is to engage the threat once the scene is safe, or if I've shot this to lockback, this magazine, once I've gone, this is all I have, alright? I don't have the luxury of a radio on my shoulder and press a little red button on a radio and get the cavalry coming right away, okay? So this is all I've got to get me the hell out of there. So that's what this is designed. If I've gone to this, I'm beating feet. And I'm not staying in the fight anyway. Once I've drawn the gun and engaged, I'm looking for a good piece of cover. I'm looking to exfil out of there as quick as I can and get away. You know, you want to live to fight another day. Alright, so that's what this magazine's for. Tactical knife. This is a 3.5-inch blade, fixed handle knife. In my last video I used to carry a folder. Well, I still do. It's not spring assisted, but it is a folder. This is a utility knife. I use this to cut string, crap off my jacket, clean out my fingernail, whatever. This knife, the edge of this has touched nothing since the day of purchase. Let's hope it stays that way, alright? So, I've cut nothing with this. And it's a very aggressive, it's a Smith & Wesson HRT pressure cutter style knife. It's got some weight to it. But I really like it because this thing is nasty, and if someone goes for my gun, that's primarily what this is for. Or, if in the event that someone has crashed the gap and I don't have an opportunity to draw my gun, but lethal force is authorized, I can go to a knife and I can start working from there. So, there's that. The flashlight. This is simply nothing more than a tool. Okay? It is simply something I can use every day to look at something under the hood of my car. I drop something underneath the seat of my car, or I need to use a flashlight for something, I have it. But this is also a less lethal defensive tool. I can use this to shine this in someone's eyes. If some drunk, say, stumbles out of a bar, he bumps into you, and because he's drunk and intoxicated and retarded and he bumped into you, it's your fault. So now he's up in your face and you, hey, I don't want trouble. But you can pull a flashlight out. This is very easy to defend in court. Okay, it's not an aggressive weapon. Some of the flashlights out there do have the little aggressive bezel on the end with the DNA collector and the DNA collector on the tail cap. So you can get those, that's fine, but keep in mind those are going to be construed and looked at more upon as a weapon than possibly a flashlight, depending on the jury of your peers, as if they were your peers anyway. But so this is really, you know, non-aggressive. Hey, I don't want trouble. You can keep your hands up. You can take a stance, but it doesn't look aggressive. You can shine a light in your eyes offset, and you can still do pretty bad things with this. And on that note, I think I've got it right here. Yep, awesome video, guys, right here. It's called Light Him Up. Steve Materkowski. This guy is wicked. That's his son Derek that he's torquing in the front of the video there. This is a great video. I've done training with Steve Materkowski. I've taken that class. He is an awesome instructor. Highly big kudos. That's like 20 bucks, guys. You can find it online on Paladin Press. So I highly recommend that video. Teaches you how to use this thing in a very, very, very self-defense way. So that being said, that if I do happen to go to a stickier part of town per se, like Aurora, Colorado. It's a suburb of Denver. It's a big cesspool. Some people say, well, I live in the good part of Aurora. Horse crap. There's no such thing as a good part of Aurora, in my opinion. So, when I go to Aurora, the addition to my EDC loadout that I put in the trunk of my car is this bad motor finger right here. That's my 9mm AR, for those of you who aren't familiar with it. Sits in the trunk of my car. Tapco 32 round, fully loaded magazine with very nasty 115 grain Hornady XDP hollow points. And that's how I roll when I go to Aurora. Because if, and God forbid, the event that I've got to get into some really nasty, sticky situation runs into out there, and if I can't get to my car and drive away, but I can at least get to my car, well, this is what I'm going to, because the handgun is strictly defensive. This is an offensive weapon system. So if I've got to make a precision shot in an urban environment, I'd much rather use a shoulder fired weapon system where I've got at least 3 points of contact versus just a handgun. So anyway, guys, hey, there's my little boy in the background there. So anyway, guys, take care of yourselves, and this right here is the reason that I concealed carry. Because look at the camera, see? Say hi, everybody.
Hi.
So see, love this little guy with my whole heart, and that's why I concealed carry, because it's my job to protect him. I delegate my safety, his safety and protection, my wife's safety and protection to no one but me. So think about it, guys. So take care of yourselves, and God bless.
Papa.